Hi friends, it's Steph. Wow, what a busy week I have had. I have had no time to work on my miniature at all. We had homecoming and it has just been a crazy week up until last night, which culminates in their big dance. So that's behind us, and it'll just be something else, I'm sure, this week. So let me tell you what I have been up to today. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I was able to go to town, and so I went into Hobby Lobby to see what they had, and I found these trim pieces. This was only $3.49 for a 1/12 scale trim, and there were 4 nice long pieces. I'm not sure how long these are. They look to be about 18 inches, but you can see you get a lot of it. For $3.49, I probably could have bought 2, but I really only needed 1, so I only bought 1. I also bought some more shutters, and I'm going to show you why in just 1 minute. So I wanted to let you know the progress first that I'm making on the fireplace. And here it is. Let me move you guys over a little bit. So you can see I put a piece of the trim on the edge of this fireplace. I'm going to put it on the sides as well. And these are not glued down, so I'm just kind of showing you right now. These I'm going to put around the inset that we have above the fireplace as well, just because I think it frames it out really nicely and it's going to look pretty. I'm not going to glue these down yet because I want to paint first. These I haven't decided yet if I'm going to leave white or if I'm going to paint them the same trim color as the pieces that go on the wall. Haven't decided that yet. So I'll obviously let y'all know on that one. So that's the progress I've made right here. I'm going to do those edge pieces as well and glue those on. These I'm not going to glue on for a minute, but I did want to show you how simple it is to cut these with my miter shears. So I did draw a line on this one, and you just kind of have to turn your miter shears to 45 degrees, and it depends on which way you're cutting on which way you do your angle, okay? So this angle is going to go this way because this is the side I'm cutting. I did draw a line on there. Let's see if y'all can see that. You see my little line there. I'm going to line it up with this middle line right here. And you see it just lays in there on top of this brace. So I guess that's what you call it. So I just line it up, put that there. Ouch, I pinched myself. Great little cut. Okay, crafting is so dangerous, y'all. I always tell my husband I should get workman's comp for this stuff. He just laughs at me. And you'll see it will fit perfectly right there. I am going... Okay, friends, note to self. So I had to pause the video because I really did cut myself with the miter shears. It hurt really bad, but guess what? I don't have any Band-Aids down here, so I improvised. I have some tape. I have a little piece of fabric. We're good to go. I did put pressure on it to stop the bleeding, but it hurts really bad, so don't do that. Make sure that when you are holding this down that you've got your hand out of the way. Because it does sometimes take just a little bit of pressure to get that to cut. So, yeah, I got my hand in the way. So, lesson learned. Learn from me. Don't be like me. So, it hurts. But I'll be okay. So, I've got... Back to this, we've got the trim going. It's all going to get glued down, but we're going to paint first, so I'm not going to glue it today. So I'm going to set this piece aside. Oh, if I don't knock everything over, guys. So, I am very transparent on this channel. I tell you guys everything. So my last, I redid this wall because I just, the other one was banged up. This part was wrong, and the opening on the window was wrong. It was not the right height. I tried fixing it without redoing, and it was just kind of a hot mess. I don't even know. I think I threw it away, but I can show y'all. It was going to require too much cutting and pasting, so I was like, nope, I don't want to do that. Plus, I had this big dent in there from when it got thrown in the trash. Still don't know how that happened. I also did not like the pieces of wood that I had on there and how they fit. So I recut these out of mat board, and I've trimmed this. Now, I know you might be thinking this is some other nice trim, but no, this is mat board, and I'm going to show you how I did this. I liked the trim on this door. I did change out my doors because the other door, I couldn't get the trim off that I did, and I just was not in the mood to mess with it today. So I chose this door. It does open the wrong way, but the door's not going to be opening anyway, so I'm just going to put the push, I don't even know, push plate, maybe that's what those are called, on this side, and nobody's going to know because the door's not going to get opened. This is a look at miniature, not a play miniature. So I'm going to do this last one here, but I want to show you how I mimicked this design on this door on this mat board, okay? And again, this will get a little spackling in it, and once it's painted and everything, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. But I felt like the spacing on these were much better, and the size on it was much better. And I'll show you our picture once again. I just feel like this looks more like what we're going for. So I'm much, much happier with this. And y'all know when I'm thinking about something and thinking about something, I just cannot stop until I can figure out a way to make it work the way I want it to. So what I did for this trim here is with mat board. So what I did is I took a piece of mat board cut to the sizing that I wanted. I took where'd my little ruler go? My little metal ruler. I made 2 notches. I laid this is a piece of the wooden trim, but I didn't have enough of this left from that door to make around the window. So I thought, well, I'll make my own. So I laid this on top of the mat board, and I just put little dots right where these grooves are. So then what I did, I have this little tool, and honestly guys, I don't know where I got this or what it's called. I just know I use it to mix paint sometimes, and to pry stuff up if I have to, because y'all know I make a lot of mistakes, so I pry things. So I took the rounded end of this. I tried with the pointed one, but it tore up the mat board, so I use this nice blunt end here. Okay, let me turn the camera back down to my little workspace here. I laid my ruler on top, lining it up with the notches that I drew, and then I just, oh, I almost used the wrong end, take this rounded end and just ran it up and down the edge of my ruler, and it puts in the grooves that I need. And once this is painted, nobody's going to be the wiser that this is not wood. And I have already marked where I need to cut for my mitering, but you can see, I hope you can see those little grooves. These grooves mimic those on the door, and once it's up and painted, nobody's going to be able to tell the difference. So that's how I did that, and you can see I already have my cuts measured out to go on the window. I'll get those. The other ones are glued on. I'll glue this one on, and then fill in the spackle. So, lots going on. And my space is a mess. I will tell you too, so at first when I was trying to make the other one work, I thought I could make it work, and so I cut the shutters in half, and I thought, well, you know, I'll just make that work for the windows. It did not, so I thought, well, that's not going to work. I cut them right in half, right where there's a little glue notch there, but they just were too small. The window was not working, so these, you can see, were way too small. So when I went to Hobby Lobby to get those, I grabbed another set of shutters because I had cut 2 of them in half, so I only had 1 left. So what I'm going to do, and I hope this works, guys, I'm just going to try it. That's all I can do. You know, these are pretty inexpensive, $1.99. So if I mess one up like I did with that one, I'm sure that these little ones here, sorry for reaching across, guys, I'm sure I can use these for something else eventually. I'm not going to worry about that. That even kind of looks like a washboard, doesn't it, guys? But this will be used for something else, so it just goes in the scrap pile. So now I have this one, another big one, and so what I'm going to do I'm going to measure this out, and I'm not going to do it yet because I've got to make a little counter. It's not really a counter, but a little shelf, you know, that just hangs over just a little bit. It's not very big, but it goes right there. So I've got to wait to do that to get my measurements correct. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut these here instead of right in half. So I'm hoping it works. I did this with my X-Acto knife, and I just made several passes across it, and it cut pretty easily. Use these metal rulers are great for things like this, guys, because it protects you. You just got to make sure that you have enough pressure on it, but this keeps your X-Acto knife from sliding or cutting through the ruler like you would a plastic or a wooden ruler. So I really love these metal rulers. I cannot express to you enough how these are perfect for you if you're doing some cutting through little wood pieces, especially when you got to make several passes. And this I did have to. So what I did, I made passes. Then when I see where my notch is going to be, I make a little notch there so that I can cut on the back. And eventually, before you get all the way through it, it'll snap in half. So that's how I'm going to do that, but we'll do that on another video. I'm not going to do that today. So last thing I want to show y'all that I was started working on is the fireplace facade. So you see this was egg carton. If you'll watch my last video, you can see how I made these. Really, I just cut little squares of egg carton, glued them on, and then I filled it in with some spackling. And this is a very lightweight, quick drying little small drywall repairs, lightweight spackling. That's all it is. It looks like frosting. Not frosting, but it looks like it. So what I did was I filled in all my little spaces, and I just eyeballed the spaces, y'all. I did not try to get just perfection there, because I feel like I know bricks masonry is amazing artwork in itself. It's a great craft, but for this little mini piece, I wasn't going to stress about it too much. So what I did was, oh, sorry guys, I bumped the camera. I got my chalk pastels out. And I had these, you know, I have stuff for every craft there is in the world. So we have chalk pastels, and you can see lots of nice colors in here. I think I probably paid $10 for this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure which one I bought this from. I took an old paintbrush, or actually this is probably a new paintbrush, because I did not have a stippling brush or a stencil brush. So I just cut this brush off. These are just little cheapy brushes. So I cut it off just so I would have a stiff, more flat piece there. So what I did was I chose some colors just randomly to see how they would work. I started with this kind of brick red color here. It's really not as brick red as you think it is when you go to put it on. I mean, it kind of is. And so what I'm doing is just adding color until I get what I want. I still have not gotten what I want on any of these. I am at the end going to add some black in. I added some dark brown to this brick red, and then one of these pinks over here, just to kind of get the right tones I'm looking for. I have not finished this yet. Put a movie on, whatever you're doing, because this does take a little bit of time. This here that I've gotten done this little bit took about 20 minutes, and I'm still not even finished with it. I thought I would go through, get color on all of it, and then go back in and add the other colors, because it does take a little bit of time, and the shading is a little trickier than you think it would be, but I think it's going to look great by the time we get it finished. So get you a nice stiff brush, get these chalk pastels out. If you don't have chalk pastels, you can use acrylic paints in the same way. Just use a very dry brush, don't use water. Have a nice paper towel or an old towel that you use for painting by. Rub off most of that paint, and then go in on your bricks to get the look that you're wanting. You're not wanting it saturated or wet with paint. You want it to look like a brick. You want it to have some texture. So you're going to have to just go in like this. I am avoiding my grout lines because I don't want those to be covered up in color. I want them to stay white. So I am trying to avoid that, and that is why I chose such a tiny brush as well, because it's just about, you see, almost the width of one of my bricks, so it stays within that line a little bit, and then when I do it like this, I just have a lot more control over it. So get you a nice, or if you have a stippling brush, you know, they're round and they're kind of flat on them, those would work as well. A Q-tip would probably work if you don't want to buy a fancy brush. And, you know, I didn't. I just cut this one off with a pair of scissors, y'all. It was just a little bit longer, like this kind of soft, rounded brush, and I just cut it off, and it's working really well. You can also take your chalk pastels and take your X-Acto knife. You can pick these up out of here. It's kind of messy. And I would do it on a sheet of paper. I have this cardstock right here. And you can just scrape off color as well. And you can mix them together. Do all of that on a piece of paper instead. But what I'm doing is I am just rubbing along each color that I want to use. So I'm using this dark brown here, and then I think I used this red, one of these reds right here, and just went in with it. But you can see I could do it like this. Might go a little quicker if I take some off like that. So I may end up doing that, but that's another way that you can do it as well. Once we finish this, let me move the kitchen wall out of the way. I'm dealing with all these walls. Where'd our fireplace wall go? Let me take those off because we don't need those right now. They're just kind of in the way. And so this is kind of what we will have once we get it painted and everything. I think it's going to look really nice. This will be black back here. I don't know if I'll put anything else on it. I may try to find some type of mesh or metal or something that I can put there that looks like those little curtain type things, those metal curtain-y things. I don't know what they're called, y'all, that are in fireplaces that you close off, you know, to keep the sparks from flying and everything. And so I may do that as well. I have not started cutting the accents for the walls yet. I had planned on doing that this last week, but y'all, it just was crazy. I did not even make it downstairs last week. So you can see I've got all these little parts to do. That was what I was supposed to do before this video, but I just did not have a chance to do it. So I'm going to measure those. I do have the strips cut for them. I just haven't cut the bits yet. So I do have the strips cut, and you see I have to clean those up a little bit. These cut really nicely with scissors. It's hard to cut long pieces with scissors, but you can cut it into bits. Like if I needed this to be that long, I could cut that with scissors. I don't have to use an X-Acto knife. So that's what I'll do, is once I get my measurements done, I will start cutting more of those strips. I have a lot of them cut already. I just haven't decided what length I want them just yet. So I'm getting a little impatient, y'all. I want to start painting this. I want to get it together because all the parts are coming together, and I'm ready to put the walls up. And oh, and I did buy carpet. It's not really carpet. I bought some felt. I did buy a nice deep gray color because I think it's going to look beautiful once we get the couches and the furniture done. Remember last week we talked about our fabrics. I think the more I've thought about it, these are the fabrics I'm going to go with. I do need to decide now because I had another color I was going to use for the draperies, but I think I'm going to use this deep color here. That was another thing I was supposed to have done for this video as well, was the drapes. Have not gotten that done. I have figured out how I'm going to do it. And guys, I just want to tell you about my process. So when I'm doing a project like this, or any project, a sewing project or a miniature project, I just have to think about things. They don't always come quickly to me. I'm always so impressed with you guys that you can see a small bit of something and think, you know what, that's what this can be. In the miniature groups on Facebook, some people are just so very good at that. I really have to think about things for a little bit and think, what can I do with that? What can I use to make that? And so it just takes me a little bit longer. And sometimes, you know, y'all, I'll be laying in bed at night and I'll think, that's what I can do for that piece or that part of the wall. And then it all comes together once I think about it and I get it into my brain what I want it to look like. And then I do that and it usually works out. I'm not much of a planner because I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, y'all. I just think, oh, this will look good here and this I can use for this. But when it comes to bits and pieces, I really have to stop and think about it. This wall gave me so much grief, y'all, because I kept thinking about what can I use to cover up this little inset, because I just didn't like how I had it on the other one. I was just going to use flat wood and it just wasn't looking interesting at all. And you know, we want things to be interesting. We want things to look nice. Even though it's a miniature and it's going to be sitting on a shelf, I still want people to look at it and think, wow, that's really cool. What a great job, you know, because that's why we do this, right? Is to admire our own work. I don't know if other people admire our work or not. My friends mostly see pictures of it, but my kids see it once it's done. And I want them to think that's really cool. My mom did that, you know? So I just think things through a little bit, and I think this is really going to come together nicely. It looks so stark and white right now, but y'all know that once we start getting that paint on there, oh my gosh, this is going to really come together. We still have our back wall. Again, I'm going to do the drapes. I'll probably paint it first. So that's why I'm trying to finish all this so I can get the painting done, because so many other things rely upon us getting the painting done. And then once the painting's done, we're going to put these walls together, put the flooring down. And I think it's just going to come together really quickly after that, because I'm super excited to start the kitchen. Do you guys ever think, gosh, I'm so bored with this project, I want to try something else? I'm not bored with it. I just wish I had started with the kitchen, because I just think I really want to make the kitchen. But we're going to get this living room done. We're going to push through. I think, and I'm ever hopeful, you see I got my fingers crossed, guys, that in about 2 weeks we'll be ready to move on to the kitchen. So let's see how far we get. I'm hoping to get this fireplace finished, the brickwork done this week, and I should have time to work this week. I am going to make a very large goal of getting things painted. So I hope to be able to do that. If nothing else, I know I can at least start on this one. I just have to make sure that I have a place to really put my paint, that it won't dry out. Because remember, guys, we're going to probably be mixing paints on this. If I mix paint, I don't want to have to remix, because then it's so hard to match. So unless I find a paint that I just love and that looks perfect, then I'm going to have to mix it and match it. And so I'll make sure that I make enough that will cover everything and we won't have to worry about it. So that was kind of fast and furious. I still have a lot of work to do, y'all. I really do. But I'm going to get it done. Y'all know I'm committed to this project. I'm super excited for this project. If you don't know, you can watch I Love Lucy on Pluto TV. I have been binge watching again. I used to have it on DirecTV. I had it, all the episodes recorded in order. And I would just play that every night and just listen to it and watch it sometimes. So now that I've found it on Pluto TV, I'm doing the same thing, because we did get rid of DirecTV and I can stream now. But I'm really just loving Lucy again, y'all. I just really love the show. I love the characters and the parts that they play. And so I am really super excited to get this completed so that we can get that feeling of being in I Love Lucy's apartment and what it might feel like when they were in it. So if you like this video, if you want to come on this journey with me to finish Lucy's apartment, please like and subscribe. And I appreciate all of you. Please comment down below any of the projects you like, anything you would like to see me do more of. And I'm really excited to start on furniture and to get the carpeting down and everything. So come along with me, guys. I appreciate you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.